Now, in today's lecture, I'm going to start the 7 quality control tools under our subject, that is quality engineering. Chapter number 2, that is quality engineering and management tools, techniques and standards. So in previous lectures, we had discussed about Pareto diagram, process flow diagram, cause and effect diagram, and check sheet. Okay, so today I'm going to start the next quality control tools, that is histogram. So in Pareto diagram, we have already discussed about that. Pareto diagram is what? Pareto diagram is a diagram in which you can collect all such item which in which suppose some defects are occurred, and you can arrange these such items in descending order. Okay, from leftward to rightward. And this Pareto diagram is resemble with the histogram. Pareto diagram is also known as 80-20 rule. What is 80-20 rule? 80-20 rule means 80% of the problem are caused by 20% of the item. So that is 80-20 rule. So Pareto diagram are also known as 80-20 diagram. Then we had discussed process flow diagram. Process flow diagram are generally utilized to show your process, current process in your industry or in any of the business. You can utilize that particular diagram to train other new employee also. Then we had discussed about the cause and effect diagram. Cause and effect diagram are also known as Ishikawa diagram, because Dr. Koru Ishikawa had invented this diagram, and due to its diagram is looks like a fishbone. That's why it is also known as fishbone diagram. So these diagram are generally known as cause and effect diagram, fishbone diagram, and Ishikawa diagram, in which on the right hand side you must have to reflect the effects, and for that particular effect number of causes are there. That number of causes you have to mention in the left side. So in which some major causes are there, and under that major causes you have to just write some sub causes. So these are this is the diagram in which number of causes are there, and due to that cause some one effect is there. That effect are written on the right side, and this all the structure or diagram are looks like a fishbone. That's why it is known as fishbone diagram. So these diagram are generally known as cause and effect diagram, Ishikawa diagram, and fishbone diagram. Then we had discussed about check sheet. So check sheet is a very simple sheet in which you can just represent all the collected data details. Okay, means number of how much data are collected, from how much time it is collected. Okay, so simple detailing of some data collection is there in check sheet. So individual person can collect the data and record the data in a sheet which is known as check sheet. Now today I am going to discuss about histogram. So histogram is also one chart or diagram, and it is resemble or it looks like a Pareto diagram. But in Pareto diagram, what happened? In Pareto diagram, on the horizontal axis, on the Pareto diagram, suppose this is your Pareto diagram. So on this horizontal axis, this is the horizontal axis. So on the horizontal axis, some data are there. That data may be defects, number of defects, or any characteristics. And on the y-axis, this is the y-axis. So on y-axis, some frequency are there. Means number of times it occurs. So on the y-axis, frequency are there, and on the x-axis, characteristics are there. Okay. different characteristics of that particular data. And in the histogram, same x and y axis are there. On the y axis, again frequency are there, and on this x axis some numerical and continuous data are there. Please keep in your mind, in histogram, here on the x axis continuous or numerical data is there, and that may be related to any measurement data. Got it? Now go to some detailing of the histogram. So histogram is a chart that plots the distribution of a numeric variables. As I told you, on the x-axis, numerical or continuous data is there. Okay, so histogram is a chart that plots the distribution of numeric variables values as a series of bars. So on histogram, number of bars are there. That shows the occurrence of your particular event. Each bar typically covers a range of numerical value, and this is called bin or class. Okay, suppose this is your data, sorry, this is your diagram. So this is your y-axis and this is your x-axis. So here, suppose you have plotted the data according to your samples. Okay, different samples are there. Suppose these are some bars. Okay, according this numerical range or numerical value. So these bars is called bins or class. This is called bin or it is called class. Okay, this is one class, this is second, this is third, likewise. Okay, so number of class or bins are there. So each bar typically covers the range of numerical value. Suppose this is a single bar, so that covers any range. Suppose 10 to 20, one range is there. Suppose this covers 10 to 20. Okay, so this is one range, 10 to 20. It may be some measurement, it can be a value. Okay, so any of the bar or each bar contains the range or numerical value, and this bar is generally known as class. A bar's height indicates the frequency of the data points with a value within the corresponding bin. Suppose this is your first bin. Okay, so corresponding to this bin here on the y-axis, see, on this y-axis corresponding frequency are there. This is frequency. Okay, so in the range of 10 to 20, how much frequency are there? Suppose here 20, so 20 times it occurs. This event or this range 10 to 20 range occurs 20 times, means 20 frequency. Suppose the second bar frequency is 10, so that occurs 10 times in the process. Okay, suppose this is 10, here your frequency is 10, so this event or second bins, this is second bin. Okay, so that bin occurs 10 times. Okay, so bar height indicates the frequency of data, means how much time it occurs, how much time that event occurs during the process. Okay, now some more detailing about the histogram related to the functioning. how it functions, or which type of outcomes you can get it from the histogram. So a histogram is a snapshot in time of concerned process. Okay, so it is a snapshot from which you can collect some informations as follows. It shares following four things. Okay, so four things you can get from the histogram. That is, number one, from the histogram shows some results occur most frequently. Okay, so you can get a result which occurs most frequently, most frequently. Okay, suppose on the previous diagram, see number of data are there, so in which this event occurs most frequently, means 20 times. So from the data you can get it, yes, 10 to 20 event or 10 to 20 range having the most frequently occurred in this process, that is 20 times. So from the data or from this diagram you can get the information that which event occurs most frequently. So the first functions of the histogram, or first outcome that is made from the histogram, is a result occurs most frequently. Most frequently. Second is how much variation is there in the process, means from starting to ending point of the process, how much variation are there in the process. That can you can get that particular informations about some variations, means which is the most frequently occur and which event is less frequently. So that is called variations, most frequently and less frequently. So variation between these two events is known as variations. So you can collect the information about these variations from this different event. So you can collect these informations. Then third is what the shape of the variation looks like. Okay, so from the histogram, suppose this is your histogram, and here suppose data 1, then here this is another data, here another data, this is another data. Okay, likewise, suppose this is your histogram in which some data points are there. So here if you draw suppose this is your midpoint. Okay, this is your mid data. Okay, so if you draw a shape, so it will looks like this shape. Okay, you will get this shape. So this is called Bell column. Okay, it is a shape like this. Okay, it is a shape like this. So this shape, and this is the center point of the shape. Okay, this is boundary line, and this is vertical line. So this shape is called Bell column shape. So if you got this shape, then you can tell that your data is normally distributed. Okay, so from this histogram you can get the information from the data, whether the data is normal, it is skewed towards left side, or it is skewed toward right side. Suppose some data having the shape like this, suppose like this, or some data having the shape like this. Okay, so this is the shape is known as Bell column shape, this one. And the meaning of this shape is your data is normally distributed in your process. This is the shape, that is the data is skewed towards right side. Means some variation is there in your process, and this data is, this shape gives you the information that your process is skewed toward left side. So from the shape, different shape, you can decide, or you can just tell that your data is normal, it is skewed toward right side, or it is skewed toward left side. Okay, and the next things which you can get from this histogram is if any results are out of specification. Suppose here this is your specification limit, suppose 1 and 2, this is the limit line. Okay, this is limit line 1 and this is limit line 2. So if some data which is placed on this side, okay, here, or some data are placing on this side, means some data out of these two line that is out of your specification. So from this diagram also you can decide, or you can tell that your some data points are out of your specifications. So from this diagram also you can decide which data or which range is out of specifications. So that data you can modify it or correct it. So from histogram, just a minute. From this histogram, you can get this information, means most frequently results, how much variation is there in the process. From the shape you can decide whether your process is normal or not, means your data is normally distributed or not. And if the result or some points are out of specification, you can get it. Okay, now this is considered as the data collection and analysis tool. Means histogram is considered as data collection and analysis tool. And this is the one pictorial view of histogram. So here on the x-axis, some marks obtained. Or see, this is the continuous mark 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Means here, this is the first class. Okay, just a minute. I'm getting this pen. Okay, this is the first bean, which is having a range 0 to 10, 0 to 10 marks. Means under this mark 0 to 10 marks, how much students are there? So 10 students are there. Then another range is 10 to 20. So suppose from your class, how much students are getting the marks in between 10 to 20 range. So you have to collect it. Suppose 16 numbers are there. So place this bar with the 16 number. Okay. So here this is frequency 16. Okay. So here 16 frequency are there. Means 16 number of students getting the marks between the 10 to 20 range. So third column represent the range of 20 to 30. Okay, 20 to 30 range having this third column. And under this column, your students from your class, suppose 20 students getting the marks between 20 to 30. Okay, so according to this, all the data, you just prepare the histogram. Okay, so according to data, suppose you have drawn this histogram. So from this histogram, first of all, you can get the information, means the 40 to 50 range having the most frequently marks, means a 22 student getting the marks between 40 to 50 range. Okay, so this is the first information. Then second information, how much variation is there? Okay, means from the most frequently student marks, 22 marks, 22 students getting the marks 40 to 50. And how much students getting the very less mark, 0 to 10? So 20, sorry, 10 students. So 22 minus 10. So 11% variation. So most frequent marks and or the marks, maximum marks or minimum marks. So maximum marks, so 5 students getting maximum marks and 10 students getting the minimum marks. So 10 minus 5. So 5 marks variation in this. You can say like that. This is just example. And third one is what the shape of the variations looks alike. So here, which type of shape? It is resemble. Suppose this is a shape like this. So it is generally, suppose here this type of column is there, then this that is called normally distributed. So here this data is skewed toward right side. Why? Just a minute. Because see, it is slightly skewed because once you draw this graph, so it is looks like this. Okay, here from this side it is skewed. Okay, suppose from the center, just a minute. Okay, from the center, if this range 30 to 40 range having the maximum marks, then it may be a normally distributed. But it is also, you can also tell that this is the nearer to normally distributed data. Okay, because it is resemble with the Bell column shape. Okay, see this shape. This is the shape you get from this bar. This is near to normally distributed. And if some specification are decided, means failing of the students, means suppose this is the limit line. Okay, means less than 10 marks or less than 20 marks, student is failed. Okay, so suppose this is the line. So below this line, the number of students are failed. Okay, so 16 plus 10, so 26 students are failed. So that is out of specification. Got it? So from the histogram, you can collect the number of informations from the one graph only. And here, keep in your mind, some ranges are there. On the x-axis, numerical value and range are there on the x-axis, and on the y-axis, some frequency are there. It is similar to a bar chart, as I told you that it is similar to a bar chart, but a histogram groups numbers into ranges. Okay, please keep in your mind, in histogram, you must have to create some ranges, means 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, likewise. And the height of each bar shows how many falls into each range. Histograms are great way to show the result of continuous data such as weight, height, how much time is there, like. Now, what is bar chart? So a bar chart or bar graph is a chart or a graph that presents a categorical data which with rectangular bars with heights or length proportional to the values that vary that they represent, and the bars can be plotted vertically or horizontally. So this is bar chart. Okay, so this is categorical data. On the x-axis, you can see red, blue color, green color, yellow, pink. So this is categorical data. And on the y-axis, again, it is a frequency. Okay, so this bar chart is drawn against the favorite color of children's, different children's. So suppose red colors, so 8 children's are favorite, blue color something, green color, suppose 5, yellow color 9, and pink color 6. Okay, so this is bar chart. Okay, so here some gaps are there. See, on the each bar there is some gap. This is gap, here there is gap, here there is gap, but on the histogram there is a no gap between each bar. It is a continuously joined. Okay, and also on the x-axis there is a no any categorical data, only the numerical data or ranges are there on the x-axis. Now what is histogram? A frequency distribution shows how often each different value in a set of data occurs. Or you can also say that a histogram is the most commonly used graph to show frequency distribution. As I told you that it looks very much like a bar chart, but there are important difference between them. As I told you, this is called frequency distributions. You can create a different range like this and get the frequency from the all given data. Suppose you can distribute your data according to range like 6 to 9, 9 to 12, 12 to 15, 15 to 18, 18 to 21, 21 to 24, and get the information from a given data set that how much points are there between 6 to 9. Suppose it occurs 5 times, 6 to 9. So here frequency is 5. So under this second range, 9 to 20 range, the frequency is 4 times. Likewise, you can create the frequency distribution table, and from this frequency distribution table you can draw the histogram. Now the difference between histogram and bar chart. So here histogram are used to show distribution of variables, while bar charts are used to compare variables. Okay, so histogram used to show the distribution of variable, means whether your data is normally distributed or not, while the bar charts used to compare the variable. It only compares the variable. Now second is the histogram plot quantitative data which ranges of the data grouped into bars or interval, while bar chart plot categorical data. As I told you, not that there are no space between the bars of histogram since there are no gap between the bins. On the other hand, there are spaces between the variables of a bar chart. See the difference between histogram and bar chart. This is bar chart. So each bar having some gap. This is some gap between these bars. Okay. While in histogram there is no gap between this bar. While here on the x-axis some categorical data are mentioned, and on this x-axis numerical value or some range. Suppose here 0 to 5 range, 5 to 10. On the third column 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30. So these are different range available, and it is placed on the x-axis. So these are some difference between histogram and bar chart. Now some information when to use a histogram. So the data are numerical. When the data are numerical, at that time you can use histogram. You want to see the shape of data's distribution, especially when the determining whether the out of a process is distributed approximately normally. Suppose if you want to see whether your data is distributed normally or not, at that time you must have to choose the diagram, in which from the shape of that diagram you can decide whether your data is normally distributed or not. It analyzing the whether a process can meet customers' requirements. Okay. Analyzing what the output from the supplier's process looks like. Seeing whether the process changes has occurred from the one time period to another period. determining whether the output of two or more process are different. Okay, so you can compare a different process with this diagram. You wish to communicate the distribution of data quickly and easily. And how to create a histogram. So it is very simple to collect at least 50 consecutive data points from a process. After the collection of data set, prepare frequency distribution table. As I told you, frequency distribution table. This is frequency distribution table. So from the data set, you must have to create this type of frequency distribution table. Okay. So prepare frequency distribution table. Then draw X and Y axis on the graph and put all these data set or ranges on the X axis and put the marks and draw the bars. So this is your histogram. So according to this frequency distribution table, you just place a point. Suppose 30 to 39, 30 to 39 range, frequency 4. So this is 4 number frequency. Then 40 to 49, frequency 6. 40 to 49, frequency 6. 50 to 59, frequency 12. Frequency 12. Okay. So according to this frequency distribution table, you just place all the data into, you can convert this data into this graph. So that is known as histogram. And from this histogram, you can show means the different results. Suppose 50 to 59 range having the highest occurrence value, that is 12. And you can also getting the knowledge about some variations, how much data is out of your required data, okay, or out of specifications. So this is a histogram. Now these are some reference points from which I have made these presentations. Thank you very much. If you have any doubt, then please tell me. Have you any doubt?
No, sir.
Clear? What is